Miss Sasha Sanchez.
I didn't do it.
How you feeling, baby?
Sick.
Why you sick?
Porque cuidé dos chihuahuas que they were sick. Got me sick.
Who got sick first?
I want to say Adam.
Why did he get sick?
I think it's the weather, season changing.
What
Plus, in his therapy, there's a lot of kids that are sick too.
What do you do for a living?
Be a mom.
Hardest job in the planet.
Yeah.
Do you believe that?
Yeah, I do.
Me too.
Yeah, of
A lot
course.
of people believe that. Is the truth?
Yeah. I
What
mean,
What's some pointers you want to give out there to a first time mom? Some stuff you learned the hard way.
um, how to handle your baby.
And how do you do that?
Sometimes we gotta make sure its head gotta, you want to pick them up like a 5-month-old or 6-month-old, but they're so delicate. They're like puppies. You can't be careful. Gotta be careful with them.
You just have to be careful to not hurt them.
Yeah, be delicate with them.
How did you feel when you brought the baby home? By you being a first time mom and all. How'd you feel? It
Well,
freaked you out. I remember you told me something about the breathing freaked you out just like it freaked me out.
yes, yes. The funny thing is that with Cammy, when we brought her home, I could not sleep like the first couple of months because I was afraid that like Sid was gonna happen. That freaked me out more because the way that they said that, oh, you can't sleep with your baby, you have to put him in a separate bed. Well, I didn't have a cuna or anything. So what I did is that I pushed my bed against the wall and I literally had to put her on the wall and then I would sleep in one little corner. But I would like close my eyes and then I'll open them and then I'll check on her. And then I would lay back down and I'm like, should I go to sleep? And then the sucky part is that I have to go to school the next day. It's horrible. I was like, I
So you're
can't.
drained. You haven't slept a lot. Now you gotta go back to school.
No. And then
To work, I mean.
like internship,
Yeah.
because I had to do the internship thing.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't do it when I was pregnant because I was basically a liability.
Yeah, so I bet that was tough.
Yeah, it sucked, especially the fact that,
But your mom helped a lot, huh?
oh yeah,
She gave you some pointers.
yes, she did. But the sucky part is that during that time, she would work one day out of that week. And it sucked because I couldn't get off those days. I mean, that one day. I couldn't work part-time. I had to work full-time. So she was like, well, I know this lady. She goes to church. She could take care of the baby. But in my mind, I'm like,
I don't want to do it.
I was like, I don't know her like that. I don't want my baby. I have to. And what sucked the most is that I couldn't sit there and say, no, don't do it. I had to be like, okay, I guess I have to trust this
You
woman.
had no choice.
Yeah, I had no choice. So it was very difficult for me because every single time when I leave Cammy, I'll give her a lot of kisses and then my mom would have to go drop her off at the lady. So then I was to my mom like, be careful. Let her know. Please call me. I have like 30 minutes of lunchtime. It was horrible. Literally, I would drive from over here in Slidell by the Waffle House and Chili's.
Yeah.
And I would drive all the way to, do you know Santamini Parish Mobile Home Park? It's like going towards the Encounter Cajun.
Okay.
That's where there's a mobile home park there, and that's where I would go just to go see Cammy.
So all the way over there.
All the way over there. I did not care. And my mom was like, yeah, they told me that you went over there. I was like, yes, I did. She's like, you don't trust her, do you? I said, no, I do not. But I was like, it's nothing I can do. I
You
have to.
you didn't even trust yourself at that point. Your first
Shoot.
time home, first time mom, didn't know what you were doing.
Nope.
So then of course, you weren't going to trust a random stranger you didn't know.
I did know her. I just wasn't sure how she did with it.
Especially with all that stuff going around about people mistreating kids and not
Yes.
being patient with them.
And the second part is that my mom was like, oh, well, let's take her to a daycare where Ariana went. The crazy kids house, clubhouse or whatever.
Yeah.
200 a week. I'm like, no, I'm good. I can't. I don't make that enough money for me to be paying each
That's your
week.
full paycheck a month. You're going to be working for a daycare.
Yes.
It would make sense at that point. Then your second child, what happened with him?
So with Adam, it's a different story. Now that I had my first child, now I kind of knew what came with this other child. Same thing, except he wouldn't sleep in a bed with me. He was sleeping in a playpen or a bassinet. I think it was a playpen that he slept in. Anyways, and then I couldn't sleep. No. When we brought him first home, he was in that little swingy thing, that pink thing that Mariella had. That was Ariana.
Yeah.
We put him in there. I could not sleep. There was a couple of months. There was that first month. I couldn't sleep. Then the second month, I was like, okay, he's calm. He's been sleeping through the night. So I was like, okay, I think this second baby is going to be easy breezy. But no, he was different.
Why is that?
The milestones that he needed to hit, he wasn't hitting. That was the most difficult. Even though I was brushing it off, like, maybe he's just a baby. Maybe he just needs time. And that was basically where the pointers of some was wrong. Because of what he was doing.
He wasn't like your first one, like Cammy.
Right, he wasn't. And not just that, during that first month, those 2 or 3 months I was working, I didn't get to enjoy that with Cammy. So it was different with Adam because I wasn't sure what stage was gonna happen. Like I wasn't sure of those first months. How were they? Because my mom would take care of them.
Yeah.
Take care of Cammy. So with Adam, it was different because I'm like, is this normal? My mom would be like, yeah, that's normal. Okay. Is that normal? Yeah. Okay. All right. I always asked her if he was okay. Every single time I was here, is he okay? Is he okay? Yes, he's fine. I'm like, okay. But then just only that time that I saw him that he wasn't able to pick up a Cheerio. That was when it worried me, which, like I said, I brushed it off. Like maybe he just haven't caught the rhythm yet.
Yeah. So when did you find out he had autism?
Well,
so you were getting hints all throughout, but then when was that time that you were like, yeah, he's something wrong?
When I took him to the doctor was when he was hiding. When he was hiding in a corner. He was always in a corner.
And this was when, like a year old already?
A year.
Yeah, he was
He
walking.
was already walking. And it was scary because, we lived in a mobile home park, so it was open, but you never know. He could have just ran away.
Yeah.
Well, I was cleaning one day. I had the door open, but I wasn't sure if I had the porch closed. I'm not sure. Well, it freaked me out because I kept calling him and calling him. And I couldn't find him anywhere. So I remember I ran out and I'm just calling him everywhere in the mobile home park. I'm like, oh my God, they're about to call the child services on me because I'm over here cleaning and my son is nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, let me look again. I looked inside the house. He was hiding behind the the front door. Just in like a little corner.
Yeah. What was he doing?
Sit quiet. And the thing is that when I'm calling him, he just sat there. And then when I found him, I'm like, oh my God, I found you. He just looked at me like none happened.
Yeah.
He didn't know what was going on.
He didn't even hear you scream or anything.
Nothing. And then the crazy thing is that since Dr. Broad has autism,
Yeah.
the moment that he saw Adam, he's just like, oh, he has autism. Just right off the bat.
Did he tell you how he knew at that point or no?
By the way he looked at him.
The way he was acting?
The way he was acting, he was non-social, non-verbal. He was just doing his own thing. And that scared me because, like, I didn't know what to do. How this diagnosis is gonna change, my family.
Yeah.
Like you, Cammy, and me.
What were you thinking about that? Like, did you feel like, man, my kid ain't normal? And
Yeah.
did you felt that way? Like,
I-
oh, this is gonna be a toll
I cried.
how to handle.
I cried because the first thing that went through my mind was my baby's gonna get bullied. I cried so much. I'm like, what's wrong? And then not just that, my genes.
You were like, oh, my genes are messed up.
Yeah, I ruined my child. Like,
Oh, my family, like my bloodline.
yeah, I ruined him for not having. He won't be normal. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be the same. People are gonna make fun of him. He was gonna get bullied. That's one of the main things that worried me.
Yeah.
And then not just that, it came to a point where I just like, oh no, I have to keep this child enclosed.
Protected.
Yes.
And there he is right there. I mean, we're doing this interview with our kids in another room because whenever you're a parent, there's no breaks. So we're just, this is our first interview. Sasha's my wife. And we're trying to get this awareness out there to a lot of moms that might not know what's going on with their kids, right?
Yeah.
Like you. Especially me. I never knew anything about, I didn't even know what autism was. When you first brought that up to me, I was like, oh, stop it. Oh, yeah, he doesn't have, stop claiming that, At that point, I wasn't too close to God, but I always believed what people say, like whatever you say has power.
But
so I didn't want you to say it too much because I felt like, I guess I didn't want to admit it for the same reason. Because the way I grew up, when you have a handicapped kid, that's what you think, oh, my kid's going to get bullied. And you grow up seeing a whole bunch of kids with, the special ed in your school, and you see those kids, how they suffer and they get bullied.
Yeah.
So whenever there's a possibility your kid has something like that, you don't want to admit it. And I feel like a lot of parents are like that out there, that they don't want to admit it. And at the end of the day, they end up hurting their kid because they don't get the help that that we got early on.
Not just that, I've noticed that there's also people that don't like their child to be labeled.
Yeah.
And it's not about them being labeled. It's about they need the help.
Yeah, they do. They need the special help.
Therapy.
Yeah, they need the therapy that we've gotten for Adam.
I think, and not just that, it's not, I think what they don't understand is that these therapies will help them with their daily life. They'll be able to function themselves. They'll be able to cope with themselves and cope around and be able to live in the society that we live in, that we can accept the fact that, hey, they think differently, but they can still live the daily basis as a normal person can do. So
And it takes time. I mean, our son's been in therapy for years now.
Yeah.
And, he has progress, but he still has work to do.
Yeah, he does. A lot.
He's over
But
here.
other
He's over
than
here trying to climb underneath the door as we speak.
but what can you say? I feel like not just that, like they say, oh, it's a enfermedad, like a sickness. But I think of it this way. I think God gives people kids like these to, strengthen his warriors. It's
To
like,
strengthen a part of you that you're weak in, I feel like.
right.
Like
And
it's strengthened your patience for sure. It's made you a more patient person.
your patience, understanding, caring.
Yeah.
And like I said, I tell this to everybody. I'm like, I don't scold, why God did this to me. Why did he give me a job? No,
Why focus more like why I'm the perfect warrior for it.
I
Because you're a
am.
great mom.
Not just that, I always thank God, like, thank you. I see Adam as a normal child. He's
He is.
nothing.
He's just different.
He's just, he just thinks different
Yeah.
and he just do things differently
Yeah.
than we do.
He's still a normal kid. You look at him, you wouldn't know that he has autism.
Yeah.
Unless you have somebody in your family that has it. Other
Yeah.
than that, you wouldn't notice it. I mean, and to a lot of you moms out there that are listening, your kid might be this way. And maybe you should look for the signs,
Yeah, and don't be ashamed of
Don't think
taking
that.
him to the doctor and getting a diagnosis. Like, his pediatrician diagnosed him, but he said, but you should go to a person that, is
Specialized.
specialized. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did. I was in a waiting list for a year and a half just to get him seen by a specialist.
Yeah.
And once we went to a specialist, I remember they asked like a whole bunch of questions. And then they did a examination on Adam. And then that's when they told us, like, they ranked it into like levels.
Yeah.
And they told me that he was a level 3, which is like up there because of the repetition that he was doing.
Gotcha.
The patterns that he was doing. But he's gotten better. He hasn't been doing a lot of patterns. But I do notice that.
Remember in the beginning, head bud. So if you got kids out there for the moms listening,
oh yeah,
you see your kid hitting the walls like a maniac. That's one of the signs. What's another sign that they can look out for?
They'll throw tantrums like being overstimulated by noises. They'll cover their ears. I did notice that Adam was walking on his tippy toes.
Yeah.
He'll twirl. He will be flapping.
Noise. The noise.
Yeah, he'll cover his
sensitive.
ears.
Yeah. Sensitive to noise. Non-verbal, obviously.
Non-verbal. And he will play by himself. He would not interact.
He wouldn't interact with other kids. Especially his sister. Try to avoid her.
Yes, he would always try to avoid her. It was so sad. Yeah. It was sad to see that. Not just that, it also sucks because you hear other kids like, what's wrong with him? Why doesn't he want to play? And then you're just like, oh, if only I could explain to you what's wrong with him, but you wouldn't understand. So I'll be just like, oh, it's okay. Just leave him. He'll warm up to you or something.
Yeah.
But that's when he didn't go to therapy.
Now let's talk about the pros of autism. I feel like one of the pros for me that I see and that I value is that they're really focused. When they like something, they really get focused. They get dialed into it. Not like quote unquote normal people that they want to do this thing, they want to do another thing, they want to, just like me, you want to do a podcast, you want to ride dirt bikes, you want to do this, that. You never make up your mind. Autistic kids, they find out what they like, and they dial down on it, and they die with that. So I feel like that's a strength, and they specialize in it. Yeah, they learn everything that it is about. They obsess with it. So I feel like that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, right now
they're blunt.
very blunt
They'll
and
tell you
no
straight up.
filter, no
Yeah.
filter.
So that could be a good thing or a bad thing, because they don't have no social skills.
Yeah, and it could get them in trouble too. So
Yeah.
that's something that definitely, and that therapy helps them
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I remember the bluntness of Adam. Well, he still does it, so it don't change. You just live through it.
Yeah.
You just live with it, and you just like, you already know how your kid is, so.
What are some words of encouragement that you can give to moms out there that are going through this,
That
through the
has
first stages?
okay,
I guess you're a veteran now when it comes to autistic kids.
5 years.
Yeah.
Hey, have patience. Mainly patience. I feel like when your autistic child knows that you're overstimulated, I think they know
They
and
feel it. Yeah.
then
They lash out. Or what do you think
yeah,
they do?
and then well, how
Or
can
they
I
feel you're feeling the way you're feeling, or it makes them sad.
I don't think it makes them sad. It's like they'll be overstimulated, then you'll be overstimulated, and then that's when they end up lashing out. Like the person will end up lashing out. And don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Gosh darn it, stop it!"
Yeah.
lash out on him. But it's not their fault. It's
Yeah.
something that they can't control. And then at the end, I'll feel bad.
And you gotta catch
So
yourself.
yeah, so it don't feel bad that if you lash out on the child
Yeah.
to have sympathy for them because they really can't regulate their emotions.
Yeah.
And then not just that, have patience. They're so loving. Even though they don't show love, they love you.
Yeah.
And but they'll show you in different ways.
Yeah.
But overall, if you have a child that has autism, I mean,
Get them diagnosed.
try to get them diagnosed,
Yeah.
yeah.
And get them the help they need.
Get the
And
help
be
they
patient with
need.
them.
Yes, because I feel like it would help you and then it'll help your child a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, no, especially in the future.
Yes.
The people that catch it early and they get them the help they need. I mean, when they turn 17, 18 years old, the kids, some of them, they're normal.
And no, and I mean, I don't judge other moms out there because there's some that they say, oh, 1 years old, that's just
They're too young.
too young.
Yeah.
That's how they have to be.
We were lucky enough that our pediatrician
Well,
caught it.
yeah, because with my first kid, with Hazel, I didn't get those things that he was doing.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought it was weird that he was doing it.
Yeah.
And then that's when I told my sister, and she's like, I think you should go to the doctor and see what he said. And just by that, got a diagnosis from a pediatrician. Then I went to a specialist and got a real diagnosis.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say like it took like a lot of me, and it took a lot on our relationship.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm not
if you're
saying
married out there, yeah, it's definitely hard because your wife is running ragged with the kid, and especially if you work a lot as a man, and you're not giving her the support that she needs. Like I was, it'll definitely put a toll in your relationship for sure.
it
So I
sucks.
need if for all the married couples out there, the husband especially needs to be patient because the mom's going through a lot, and I mean luckily enough, my wife doesn't work, so this is her full-time job, and she's able to give the kids the care that they need. But if out there they got parents out there that they both work and they leave their kids in daycare, then only God knows they haven't got the kid diagnosed, and the people in the daycare probably treat them like normal, and they get frustrated. And who knows what happens to those poor kids with autism that aren't diagnosed yet? What they go through?
It's sad because sometimes there's other people, and not just that. I feel like people need to be more educated on autism. because I will see people that they see kids with autism and they don't even know they need autism. I mean,
Yeah.
that they are autism.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, he needs a whipping.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't need that. Oh, just leave him alone. He'll get over it. And it's
Especially in the
sad.
Hispanic community, in our community. They don't believe in any.
Yeah, and it's sad because I'm just like, that it, if you, once you're a mom that has autism, like you could see how other kids act and then your child.
Yeah.
And then when you see another autism kid, you could see the resemblance and then you're just like, oh.
Yeah,
I
like
know
we
that.
did in Florida. I remember when that grown autistic kid got next to our son.
Yes.
And they were
That
having a
was
little
fun.
battle with the shower. One
With
would
the
turn it
water
on.
hose.
With the water hose. One would
Yeah.
turn it on. The other one turn it off.
And then we have to be like, oh, I'm sorry, my kid has autism. Oh, well, ours too. Like, oh, okay.
Makes sense.
Yes. But it was
And you caught it early on. You just didn't want to be rude and point it out. But you could
yes.
tell that the kid had autism.
Yeah. And like I said, it's never, it's sad that there's people out there, there's ignorance over
Yeah.
autism.
Not just autism, a lot of special needs, you know.
Right.
Yeah, they
Like, for instance, Down syndrome, people could see that there's Down syndrome. But see, for an autistic kid, it's more of a mental thing.
Yeah.
You can't really, there's nothing,
can't see it, yeah.
you know,
They look, yeah,
physical.
Kids are, I mean, normal. They're just a little different.
And it's just
Normal
sad.
physically wise, but yeah, they need it. They're just a little. They need a little extra help with their motor skills and such. And luckily, in our case, our kid has it mild, and he's not. They got kids that have it worse out there.
Yeah.
And
my hearts go out to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
if we struggle with it, who knows? You know what those parents went through with those kids.
It's just sad, you know. For me, like, it's sad that, not just sad, it like kind of ruined our relationship back then.
Yeah.
But it was also sad because it made me sad because I had to, how can I say, like, I'm in a corner, I'm crying because I'm sad, and then I have to be strong because I have to go through these process of going to doctors, therapies.
Yeah, because you need that help for your son.
Exactly, and it's hard. And like I told you, it was like a whole bunch of stress because it was like papers after papers, doctors after doctors, therapies after therapies.
Yeah.
And I was like, there was never a break.
Don't give up, moms. You're going to have to go through this. And if you give up, or if you're thinking about giving up because of all the paperwork and therapies and all that, don't give up, because at the end of the day, you're helping your son or daughter out, you know, in the future. So
yeah,
it's for their own good.
And
because they make it hard on trying to get help.
Yeah, make it hard in finding, you know,
special help for them, like therapy.
Right. I mean, and help doesn't come like, like fast, quick. You have to be in like waiting lists. They would be like, oh, okay, well, we'll go ahead and call you and let you know when the appointment is. And they won't call you until,
Yeah.
And then you completely forgot about them. And then they're like, oh, we are so-and-so. And you're just like, oh, okay. I just remembered. Okay.
Yeah. So don't give up.
Yeah. And if you have the opportunity to be a home ed mom and you have a autistic child, I think try to find ways. I mean, I'm pretty sure, your pediatrician can help you. Because I remember getting a specialist, they gave us a binder and had all those type of help if we wanted to go to these certain therapies, these certain clinics, and try to get some resources. I think there's help out there. And there's also, Facebook, they also have people that has like community of those certain type of people, like autism parents out there.
Yeah.
And I've been meaning to go with one of them, but
you just don't have Facebook, huh?
No, I don't have Facebook. So
you're a weirdo.
I am, and I enjoy it. But but your kid don't have to be alone.
Yeah.
They can socialize with other autistic people, and I'm pretty sure they'll be
And
happy.
parents too.
And parents too, yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about how you're going through. Now,
Yeah.
me,
Learn from other parents.
for me, it's a genetic thing because my other cousins' kids have autism.
Yeah.
But my kids, we don't visit them, so.
Yeah. And for the people that don't know, like it's more common on boys.
Yes.
Girls still get it, obviously, but it's really more common on boys. So if you're a first time mom and you believe your son's a little not normal, like people call it, a little different, seek help. And if you're a second time mom and it's a boy and the first one is a girl, like in our scenario, and you see that your second kid is a little different than your first, then definitely, talk to your pediatrician and get some help. The earlier you catch it, the better.
I think it'll do a very huge difference.
Yeah, for sure. All right, peeps. Well, this was the first show with my lovely wife and first of many. Hopefully she wants to do this again. And hopefully she wants to do it on video next time. Right now she's a little shy.
I don't
Didn't
like
want to get on
video.
the camera, you know what I'm saying? But we'll get her on the camera next time. My next interview is gonna be with a really godly man, and hopefully he accepts. But I'm really thrilled to do that one. What's a question you would like to ask Mr. Darryl for the next interview?
Me ask him?
A question you want to pass along.
My question would be, whenever he see what is his first thing he would say to God when he gets to heaven?
There you go. Okay.
That's something I would like, especially the fact that he's a godly man.
Yeah.
Definitely would like to know.
All right. Well, I'll ask him. All right, y'all. Peace.
Thank you. God bless.